All right, everyone, I saw the funniest shit I've ever seen yesterday. It keeps getting funnier because you remember Al Franken, who had to leave the Senate because he was like groping women, and there was a picture of him doing it? Again, totally different from a lot of the sex abuse allegations. You had actual photographic evidence of wrongdoing. It was much like Farenthold and Conyers. It seems like all the politicians, for them, there was a payout or some other tangible evidence of wrongdoing. In all these other cases, it's just allegation. You had cases where, according to, generally liberal individuals, someone's career should be ruined based on an allegation of wrongdoing sometimes dated from 20 years before. But Franken was holy and he couldn't be touched despite the fact that there was a picture of him groping a reporter's chest. She says it was not consensual. Then people tried to shitpost thereafter. There was actually a shitposting counterattack the next day. I remember this, in which people were claiming that the woman had said, oh yeah, no, this actually doesn't depict anything wrong. And it wasn't even her words. It was actually Franken's lawyer's statement about the situation, taken out of context completely. Had nothing to do with her saying, oh yeah, no, it was fine what Franken did. This was actually a ha-ha, hee-ha joke. It wasn't. It wasn't a joke. It was Al Franken groping someone and getting a picture of it when she was asleep. That's what it depicts. That's what she says. You've got a picture of it. It's kind of cut and dry at that point. And there are other people, of course, who claim, yeah, Frank was like creepy with me and stuff. And Conyers, apparently, he paid out, and Farenthold did too. The one that's not out is Farenthold, who's the Republican. I think he should be gone. There was a payout, and in his case, it was taxpayer money. It wasn't even part of this weird collective fund Congress for some odd reason has on the taxpayer dime. It was a totally different sort of lump sum payment from within his own state. It's a very, very strange situation, and Farenthold should not be in U.S. Congress. But now, the legacy media and some, I guess, liberals or partisan Democrats, they're trying to save Franken's reputation, I guess, load him back in, shove him back down our asses. I guess the idea now is that they're going to say, oh, a bunch of alt-right nationalist bots and shitposters pushed the Franken stuff immediately after it broke. Therefore, somehow it doesn't matter that he actually demonstrably did grope somebody up who was asleep. Don't look at the evidence. That doesn't matter. Nationalists did it. Nazis and Russians did it. Ooh, because obviously Franken's one of the good guys because, see, look at all the irredeemables that don't like Al Franken. So it's okay if Al Franken is creepy. It's okay if again, there's a picture of him actually doing something wrong. Maybe not criminal in nature. Supposedly, no case was ever built, but, claimed it was not a respectful situation by that female reporter. Then he tries to lie about it and says, oh, it was just a play. We were doing a little skit, and this is just a picture from the skit. She was totally awake. It was depicting me doing this. It was like, I like Shakespeare, I guess, says Al Franken. Well, no, that's not what actually is being claimed. Then it's claimed, I think someone else claimed that he was doing something play-related and then wanted to do like a big long kiss or something. And, it's all this creepy behavior. It's sort of like Bill O'Reilly level creepy. Not necessarily rapacious, but it's creepy. Now, if Trump were to do something like that, if we had a picture of Trump grabbing someone's boobs, you know exactly what the legacy media would say. Nobody would be blaming bots, even though you probably would have DNC-run bots pushing it. But it wouldn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're trying to shoot the messenger. Who cares who is pushing a hashtag or whatever, trying to make a story go viral? Is it not justice, according to the liberals, that Al Franken should lose his job for doing, physically and provably more than in many of these other cases where they cheered when somebody lost their position over a single mere allegation, sometimes involving contact from a decade before? This is more contemporary. It's more easily proven. It appears to have been multiple occasions, and the job happens to be on the taxpayer dole. You do realize that people in Congress, they're basically on welfare, because they get the money from the citizens. Taxpayers pay for everything that they do. Well, I guess he should have that taken away. Then, of course, he wants to resign so that he can keep his pension or whatever. But Al Franken, do you really want... Can I ask the Democrats another question here? Do you really want Al Franken in the party at this point? Do you think that would be a good or a bad campaign strategy? I'm going to take a wild guess and say it would be a lot easier to run against the Democrats if you can't possibly use gender is a wedge issue. That's one of your main selling points is, hey, you know, we want to give more affirmative action to people. We want to be more communistic and you know, give people stuff they didn't earn. Well, you can't say that anymore if you're the party of rape. You have enough problems with Clinton. How can you make the case to women, hey, we're going to be the ones that we're going to give you more money and we're going to, you know, give you more rights, and, you know, third waveism is pretty cool and, you know, wonderful, we're going to wear pink hats on the Congress floor. How can you say that? How can you be the hashtag Me Too party? Instead of like the Greens, or even at this point arguably the fucking Libertarian Party? How can you actually make that case with Al Franken and Bill Clinton and all these people still involved in your politics, in your political system? Conyers, he just walks off to the sunset, says screw it. Bill Clinton, nobody wants him to campaign. Like 4 years ago, everybody wanted Bill Clinton on the campaign trail for him. Please, Bill, I'll kiss your ring. I'll owe you a favor. Please come make a speech for me. Oh, thank you, Bill. I love you so much. Give me just 10 minutes of your time and I can defeat this Republican. And, you know, by and large, if you had Bill Clinton on the campaign trail, yeah, you were going to get, especially in the South, you're going to get some good support from that. You can't do that anymore. Nobody wants the Clintons anymore. The Clintons don't want the Clintons anymore. They don't even want each other. They haven't for years. They don't even sleep in the same bed probably at this point. So it's funny as hell. So the Democrats are a party without soul, I guess. Oh, alt-right bots spread the Al Franken gropes people hashtag. Or who cares? Does that honestly matter? Look, if you had a scandal involving someone on the far right, the presumption would be that people on the left who don't like them would, yes, absolutely attempt to make their scandal go viral. You would not have a bunch of supposedly mainstream journalistic groups saying, oh yeah, well this is what happened, and so the crime itself doesn't matter, or the scandal itself, we're going to ignore it. You wouldn't have that happening, so why is it happening in the case of Al Franken? Is the Democratic Party therefore, or the people on the left, are you going to say that it's okay that Al Franken gropes people? Because a lot of the people that were spreading, you know, awareness of the fact that he was doing that and saying he should resign happened to be on the far right? Well, no shit. He's a Democrat. He's a liberal Democrat. Yeah, some of his opponents are going to be far right. There are also a lot of center righters. Then there are people like me who laughed about the situation. It's like, oh, here the left is constantly saying that everyone else under the sun is a pervert in some way or hates women. And here you have Al Franken and John Conyers within Congress, Democrats, both of them, and all of their various fundraising protege, all the Spaceys and Weinsteins. And it's 3-1 people who are Democratic in nature. They support the DNC, or they are themselves Democrats. It seems very conspicuous. It seems like there's a lot of projection going on when you get your Zhanks and stuff like that. Is Zhank going to come out and say, oh, well, you know, that blog that I made, I unapologize for it because it turns out that alt-righters, evil, you know, far-right Nazis, you know, there's National Socialists, but they're also far-right. They're the ones that push the hashtag. So, you know, ha ha ha, you know, I'm going to shoot the messenger. Don't look at the actual message itself. Not the way that the real world works, but I guess that's what the Democratic Party has devolved into. They're so desperate for talent because they have none. They want Franken back on board. Think about that for a moment. Al Franken's like, you know, the most talented man in the Democratic Party, I guess. They're going to have real problems in the midterms, I think. That's about all.